Hello and welcome back to Figure Depot. Today we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Scarlett. She's number 5 in the series and very cool figure. And we're going to look at a head swap option that will really transform this figure. I'm not wild about the head sculpt on this particular figure, but I found one that looks amazing, so we'll look at that a little bit later on in the review. We have a window box style package here. We get the number on the top that she is in the series on the side as well. We have a little index here on the side with different skill sets that she has. So martial arts, archery, whatever that is, probably some kind of weapons training, and whatever that is. And then on the back, we see a really cool picture here of all the figures, or characters I should say, that we'll be seeing here in the near future, hopefully. So there's some cool artwork on the side of her doing her training and stuff, and then her in combat, paratrooping, all kinds of good stuff there. Really nice artwork. So let's get her open and see what's inside. All right, here's a look at Scarlett out of the package with all her gear on. I've got her crossbow in one hand, and then I've got her little pack here with her arrows, and I've got her knives just stuck in the top. Those 3 knives are removable, so we can pop those out of the pack, and that's just a floating piece on there. You can see that the crossbow portion pops off, and then you can have a little pistol looking thing there with the gun. And in terms of articulation, her head will look down to there, will look up, a little bit impeded by the ponytail. It does rotate 360, so it's just like a Marvel Legends on a ball joint there. We get 360-degree rotation there. Arms will come out to the side. We get a single-jointed elbow bend with a swivel. And then her hands do swivel up and down, just not a whole lot because the movement's impeded by the way the armor's designed there. And then, of course, they will swivel. Then, as far as torso articulation, she does have some kind of, probably a ball socket right there. Then we have another ball socket going down into the hips. And so we can get 360-degree rotation there. We can get side-to-side rocking and stuff. So real nice range of motion there for that. We do get the drop-down hip sockets. They'll drop up and down out of the socket so that you can get more range out of them when you kick. They do have a swivel at the upper thigh. We do get double jointed knees, and then we have ankle pivot and up and down ankle rocker. So real nice articulation there at the feet. Let's get a close look at the figure herself. I do not love this head sculpt. To me, it looks a little juvenile. I don't know, something about it just I don't like, but I've got something to fix that, and we'll look at that here in just a minute. We've got this cool badge here on the side, the star on her shoulder. We do have her classic color scheme, but with a much modernized and updated look to it. And we get a lot more splashes of different, colors in different places, though it's a similar color scheme to what we see classically on the figure. You can see here on her chest armor, got some copper and some mustard yellow. She does have her classic throwing stars down the gauntlets, although they're a different shape. They're a 3-prong versus a star. If I'm remembering the detail correctly on the classic figure, it has been several years since I've seen it in hand, so my memory's a little hazy. I sold a bunch of my G.I. Joes, unfortunately, when I had a little financial crisis. We get some pockets here on the buttocks, which look nice, and cool texture on the pants themselves. Some kind of like exhaust ports on the bottom of this yellow portion here. I don't know what that's for. That's supposed to be little jet packs or what they had in mind there. But just a lot of cool detail on the armor. She's got some nice knee pads here. Really cool design. We do get peg holes at the bottom of the feet, which is good and useful. But yeah, so to fix the problem that I have with the overall look of this head sculpt, Target right now has a clearance of the Black Widow figure. Stop it. Her legs are a little bit, you gotta pose her just right to get her to stand just right. But anyway, sorry about that. So Target right now on clearance has a Black Widow figure that's in the white costume. It's a Target exclusive and it's on clearance for $9. So the head sculpt on this is amazing, and I'm gonna do a little swap-a-roo real quick. To me, that's a much more beautiful, much more mature looking head sculpt, and you also get these cool blast effects and smoke effects and real looking pistols. That's got a pistol with a silencer on it. We've got this awesome sniper rifle. So I'm gonna give her weapons and her head to our Scarlett figure. Now that, my friends, is a beautiful looking Scarlett figure, and the hair color actually is the same red that you see in the accents on her costume, pretty much. Almost identical. It's just a hair darker, but it looks really good. And that is how I'm going to be displaying my Scarlett. Very, very cool. And I made a custom Scarlett a couple years ago. Some of you might have seen it on my custom G.I. Joe videos. It's more like a movie version when they're in the all-black costumes. And I took an Electra head and repainted it red because her hair was brown. And this was kind of my movie Scarlett. I also made this pistol here with the crossbow on it. I took a crossbow from like a cheap, like knockoff Walmart G.I. Joe figure and cut the tip of the crossbow off and then glued it onto a pistol from a similar pack. And then there's tons of weapon options. If you're not digging the kind of lasery futuristic weapons that we're getting right now with these, you can buy those cheap G.I. Joe figures at Walmart, like the knockoff brand of like 3 3/4, and they come with these massive guns and stuff. So you've got like a shotgun. There's some that come with these rifles, other rifles. We get like machine gun options. There's all kinds of stuff that you can get. So the Uzi go great with Snake Eyes. If you didn't get the deluxe edition, the standard edition does not come with an Uzi, but problem solved. So cheap pickups to have weapons options. Conversely, if you wanted to get this figure and pop the Scarlett head, if you dig that Scarlett head on sort of a civilian look, you could cut off, or actually you don't have to cut these off, just pop the wrists out and remove these little Black Widow bullet thingy bobbers, and then this crazy looking belt, and then you've got her in sort of a civilian attire, which would look fine, because if you have your Luke Cage, he could be kind of civilian Roadblock in civilian clothes, and there's other figures with civilian wear that you can do head swaps from your G.I. Joe figures if you want to. And also if you're looking for some weapons options, your Killmonger from Marvel Legends and several other figures have, military weapons that look real. There's Springfield 1911, and then you've got your M4. So there's options that you can use to have realistic weapons. Alright, well that's going to wrap it up for me. I hope you enjoyed this review. Definitely prefer the Black Widow head on here to the head sculpt that came with Scarlett. This just looks so much better to me, so I'll be keeping it on her. The figure overall is fantastic. The head sculpt's not horrible, it's just not a design I prefer, I guess. So anyway, I give this figure a 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. Articulation's great, the paint's great, everything about it's great. This line is really spectacular, so definitely pick her up if you can. And please check out my Instagram here in the near future. I'll be doing some figure photography with these guys, so stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for my other reviews. I've got Snake Eyes Industrial on the way. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next time.